The road to getting better at the games we love to play is never easy. One universally accepted truth is that getting good at games takes time. But that isn't the only ingredient needed for success. Hi, my name is Fallout, and welcome back to Be a Better Gamer. Imagine, if you will, that you had the ability to cram an entire year's worth of in-game training mode practice into a single day. The results of how far you would be able to improve would depend on the specific game that you were playing, but for the most part, your technical skill and in-game knowledge would increase drastically. But it's very likely that even with all your training, you wouldn't be able to simply walk out of your year-long session with the ability to now completely dominate all of your opponents in PvP play. The reason is that while being able to practice on your own may give you the ability to commit combos to muscle memory or increase your overall technical skill, the other element to getting good besides time invested is experiencing challenge. Sometimes we watch esport players who are so talented at beating their opponents, it's almost impossible to imagine a time when they weren't amazing. But the reality is that every player starts at the exact same level, and through both time and forcing themselves to face difficult competition, they're able to slowly but surely climb the ladder and improve. It's easy to understand why most gamers are hesitant to put themselves up against players who, on paper, might be ranked far higher than they are. No one enjoys getting beaten, but exposing yourselves to challenging opponents is one of the best ways to learn and get better. For every major win a top player might experience on the big stage, there are hundreds of unseen losses they will no doubt experience while on the road to victory. Not even the best players in the world have undefeated records. Loss is not only inevitable to every gamer, but it's a necessary component to long-term improvement. Just as the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire, so are the best players forged by repeatedly challenging themselves in the form of facing incredibly strong opponents. And this is where you come in. If your goal as a player is truly to get good at the game of your choice, then you must not be afraid of challenge. This is why ranked play in games is vital to individual success, but even more so is seeking out tournament level play. Many players are incredibly cautious to get involved in either local or online tournament scenes due to the fear of getting completely crushed in a game they consider themselves decent at, possibly in front of an audience. Even more so, players of lower skill are sometimes unlikely to compete in tournaments because they think to themselves that realistically they have an incredibly low shot of winning, so why bother? Your viewpoint, however, shouldn't be to enter a tournament, especially for the first time, with the goal of winning it all. Rather, you should view tournament or competitive play as opportunities to learn. Forcing yourself outside of your comfort zone and experiencing a whole new world of tough opponents and possibly new strategies is a vital step in pushing some players forward who may be unknowingly under the influence of the Dunning-Kruger effect. A psychological effect where a person may tend to greatly overestimate their good points in comparison to others while simultaneously underestimating their own negative points. Simply put, players who have much more room to learn and improve but likely assume that they don't. Going to tournaments isn't necessarily intended to be only a wake-up call to those types of players, though. Many first-time players enter tournaments knowing full well that they'll probably lose, but in doing so will begin the process of undergoing a deeper understanding of the game that they truly wouldn't be able to experience any other way. Only by challenging yourself and by pitting yourself against strong opponents will you be able to have a more clear view of the road to improvement. The true strength of a player looking to improve lays not in the number of wins earned at low level, but in how many times you can pick yourself up after a rough defeat and then push yourself to keep going. The path of getting better begins by willingly stepping into the ring against stronger players without fear, win or lose. Let me know in the comments section what your favorite games are to be challenged in, and be sure to like and subscribe for more gaming content. Once again, this is Fallout saying, hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.